Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for an update on Perpetua and the Stibnite Gold Project. I'm Chris Fogg, and I lead investor relations efforts for Perpetua. Today, we have with us Laurel Sayer, President and CEO, and Jess Largent, CFO. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation, and as we go along today, please feel free to submit questions using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Now over to you, Laurel.
Thank you, Chris. Our vision at Perpetua is to develop one of the lowest cost open pit gold mines in the U.S. We will provide the country with a critical mineral important to national defense and the clean energy transition, and we will restore an abandoned brownfield site. We are very excited as our project advances through these final stages of permitting over the coming year and about the upcoming summer field season. The Critical Mineral Award we received from the Department of Defense in December of 2022 supports our ongoing efforts, and it allows us to advance to construction readiness for the project. I am pleased to report that this work is progressing well. So please take a minute to review our cautionary language on slides 2 and 3. Whether you are new to the Perpetua story or if you're just joining us for an update, it is my pleasure to share our investment thesis with you. We plan to redevelop one of the largest, lowest cost, and long life gold projects in the U.S. Our project has great economics with a 15-year reserve life, a payback period of less than 3 years, and an internal rate of return of greater than 20%. And we have a valuable byproduct in antimony that we can produce along with gold. Our project is located in Idaho, the Gem State, and one of the top best mining jurisdictions in the world, according to the Fraser Institute. We have solid infrastructure, access to low-cost Idaho hydropower, and a talented, experienced workforce. And we have very strong community support. This strong support we have in Idaho, it has been built over the last decade as our communities and our politicians, they have seen our commitment to responsible mining and restoration at Stibnite. One of the many reasons we are so unique is because we will take an area abandoned after 100 years of mining activity and use a sustainable approach to restore the environment and develop a modern mining project with a critical mineral production. Our goal is to establish a national strategic asset for critical mineral and gold production. And this next slide shows you why we can do that. With 4.8 million ounces of reserves, the Stibnite project is the largest gold reserve in the contiguous United States, not owned by a major producer. In total, we have 6 million ounces of measured and indicated resources, with an additional 1.2 million ounces of inferred resources. Gold drives the economics of our project, making the site restoration and the antimony production feasible. Not shown on this slide are the 148 million pounds of antimony reserves and the 206 million pounds of measured and indicated resources. This sets our project apart from other gold developers. The Stibnite Gold Project is positioned to be the only domestic mined source of antimony in the country. Our project alone could supply about 35% of the annual U.S. demand for antimony over our first 6 years of production. We plan to produce an antimony concentrate at scale, which can be used in a variety of applications, but we are also evaluating opportunities to produce a military-grade antimony trisulfide. We are confident in our ability to meet the military specifications for antimony trisulfide because historically, our site supplied the War Department with 90% of antimony demand and helped define the current specifications for multiple munitions products. Antimony has been identified as one of the 50 critical minerals, given the US has no primary production, and China, Russia, and Tajikistan dominate the world supply with more than 90% of global production. The US, Canada, Europe, and Australia, they have all included antimony on their critical mineral list. Historically, antimony has been used for its properties of strengthening alloys and making them resistant to corrosion and as a flame retardant. Currently, antimony is being used in bearings for wind and hydroturbines, tinting for solar panels, and in semiconductors. It is also used in munitions for the military and in a low-cost liquid metal battery. Congress and the current administration have made it clear that securing America's critical mineral supply chain is essential to our national and our economic security. Perpetua Resources and the Stibnite Gold Project, we are ready to be part of this solution. In December of 2022, we received a Critical Minerals Award through the Department of Defense under the Defense Production Act Title III program to advance permitting and construction readiness for our project. We recently began receiving reimbursements through the program. The Title III program is intended to ensure that America has the resources, materials, and technologies needed for national security. Perpetua was awarded up to $24.8 million to complete environmental and engineering studies necessary to obtain a final environmental impact statement, a final record decision, and other ancillary permits. This award is separate from the Small Business Innovation Research Phase 1 funding awarded to Perpetua by the Defense Logistics Agency in September of 2022. We plan to continue to assess government funding opportunities as we move forward and complete major milestones. Receipt of this award is just one of our many recent accomplishments. Today, we are one big step closer to achieving our vision following the release of the supplemental draft EIS for public comment in October of 2022, and the successful conclusion of that public comment period in early January for this year. Importantly, our mine plan was identified as the preferred alternative in the document, and under NEPA, a preferred alternative is identified by a federal agency to let the public know which action the agency is leaning toward selecting as final. Now that the public comment period is over, the U.S. Forest Service, as the lead agency, will finish reviewing and responding to substantive comments it received and begin to preparing a final EIS and draft record of decision, which we are anticipating by the end of 2023. Between now and the end of the year, we are excited to kick off our summer field season at site as we continue to progress ancillary permits in parallel with the NEPA process. We recently announced our selection of Iron Woman Construction for 2023 cleanup activities at site, which will begin in June. Iron Woman is a Native American member-owned company with extensive experience resolving water infrastructure, environmental, mining, and logistics challenges across the Rocky Mountains, including Idaho. They will support us moving over 300,000 tons of legacy mine waste away from sensitive waterways on site and restore impacted riparian areas. We also look forward to publishing our 10th annual sustainability report and continuing to demonstrate leadership in sustainability and what a modern mining project looks like. In the next 12 to 18 months, our goal is to secure a final record of decision and then all ancillary permits to be construction ready. With the final stage of permitting set, we anticipate a construction decision next year. Now I'll hand it over to Jess for a deeper dive into our project.
Thanks, Laurel. Restoring stibnite is a key pillar of Perpetua's vision and is critical in understanding both the need for our projects and the benefits it provides. Our project's restoration and mitigation plans provide early action for water quality and legacy feature cleanup, as well as concurrent restoration and reclamation for any new disturbance. Our design will ultimately improve water quality, restore fish passage that has been blocked for decades, and clean up legacy tailings and waste sites. The current state of our site also presents incredible opportunity. This is a near shovel-ready project with a low strip ratio based on previous mining activity and proximity to existing infrastructure, including roads and transmission lines. As our project advances, we are poised to unlock value for all stakeholders. Permitted projects trade at a premium, and we expect our valuation to improve as we continue through the process. In fact, the implied upside to Perpetua's current share price is over 200% based on the peer group shown on this slide. Perpetua offers investors excellent exposure to rising gold prices. With 73 ounces of gold reserves per 1,000 Perpetua shares, we are a leader in reserves per share. Based on our current market cap, we trade at a price to reserve multiple of only $64 per ounce. We believe this represents a very attractive entry price for new investors. Leverage to gold price is all about margin, and our project will have one of the best margins in the industry, supported by fundamental structural benefits, including first, our ability to source low-cost and low-emission Idaho hydropower. Second, a low strip ratio. And third, an antimony byproduct credit of $70 per ounce. All of these factors position us well within the lowest quartile of the global cost curve. Life of mine all-in sustaining costs will average less than $650 per ounce, and in the first 4 years will be less than $450 per ounce. The high-grade nature of our project also supports its robust economics. We have one of the highest average gold grades among independent projects, with approximately 2.2 grams per ton in the first 4 years of production and about 1.4 grams per ton over the 15-year mine life. The historical tailings at our site alone have 1 gram per ton of gold and will be reprocessed early in our mine plan. Our annual gold production will average approximately 300,000 ounces per year over the mine life and more than 460,000 ounces per year in the first 4 years, which would make it the largest producing mine in the US outside of the Nevada Gold Mines joint venture. Over the 15-year mine life, our average annual after-tax free cash flow will be nearly $300 million, assuming an $1,850 per ounce gold price. This results in a payback period of just 2.5 years and an internal rate of return of 28%. So now I'll hand it back to you, Laurel.
Thanks, Jess. Our production profile, low costs, and robust cash flows from the project lead to a very compelling opportunity for new investors. Using our base $1,600 gold price, the project has an NPV of greater than $1.3 billion using a 5% discount rate. We have good leverage to higher gold prices as well, where the NPV increases to approximately $1.9 billion at $1,850 gold and approximately $2.4 billion at $2,100 gold. Based on our current market cap, we are trading at nearly the widest discount to NAV, despite achieving some significant milestones and with a clear path forward. So summing it all up, Perpetua Resources is unique because we bring solutions. We have a large, low-cost and high-grade open-pit gold mine. We will offer the only domestic mine source of the critical mineral antimony, and we will use mine development to fund restoration at an abandoned mine site. Thank you for joining our webinar.